Hi guys, welcome to Bumpbox, and this time it's a bit of a collector's edition, especially for any people out there unsure what items to get for buying blind bags to keep and maybe resale at some point. And also this is just a general thing, it's like a little piece just to show you how values depreciate, or if you're very clever, actually increase. I've got 5 of the more popular ones out at the moment. You usually see them in most shops. We've got Lego, Shopkins, Zelfs, My Little Pony and Moshi Monsters. I'm going to do these in reverse order. I'm not going to go for the newest items. You're not going to see, for example, Lego Series minifigures 14. So obviously they're new out. Obviously people are buying them. So I'm going to go for things that have had a bit of time to be on the market. So things that are at least a year out of circulation, just to show you how they may have dropped, for example, or a few batches out of their series. First up, we're going to go for Zelfs. Now in the average Zelf, these are £2 retail. You get a little mushroom toadstool shell, and inside you get your collector's leaflet. And usually, I think there's 12 to collect, and they're all very different. If people remember the Trolls from the late 80s, early 90s, very similar spin to that. Obviously these are micro figures. You can get the chunkier ones. And there's 3 standard sets. There's a glitter finish, which is the rarest. There's a pearl finish, which is medium, and standard's obviously common. To example this best, I've got a few of each. So I've got, don't know if it shows up, we've got a slight glitter finish one there. That's supposedly the rarest, so we've got one of those. I've got one of the pearl finishes. These are all the same series. And then I've got a couple of the standards. Now, like I say, these are all £2, so you might be expecting the standards to be worth maybe £1, half the value, maybe the rare and the rarest to be over £2 for people to complete their sets. You wouldn't believe this, but actually there's very little interest in these. I scoured Amazon, eBay, any other sites where you can buy things like this. Very few of them actually in circulation, and then the ones that are in circulation, people are selling them not individually, in batches like this, and not by like 5s, like 10s, 20s, more, and they're going for a couple of pounds, not keeping anywhere close to their value. So if you like these, they're a cheap thing to buy, and they're a cheap thing to get for yourself. If you're a collector or want to resell them or anything like that, I wouldn't bother, because you're not going to get your money back. So it's one of those things, if you are getting them, it's purely, obviously, down to you or your child really loving them, because after that, they're not really worth anything more, unless it's to yourself. So a bit shocked by that one. This is the one that shocked me more. Moshi Monsters. Most people know, well, the more recent one was the Food Factory. That one's just come out of circulation now. And then you've got the older ones, and in every series, there's gold editions you can get. I think that's Sputnik. I think that's King Brian. They're from older series. Some like a yellow and a blue Jeepers, I think they're called. And usually get 2 in a pack, and these are £2 as well, just like the Zelfs. These ones, the Food Factory ones, didn't hit very well at all. Not many of these sold in shops recently, especially the ones I've seen. And people were in stores like Tesco's and the chains were doing deals, like reducing the packs to 50p or £1, and just doing like offers just to clear the shelves. So these are not very much money worth. These are common anyway, but they're next to worthless. What shocked me was the gold ones, doesn't matter how old they are worth very little. If you've got a collector out there, maybe £1 or £2 per gold one. Not much more than that. They haven't really kept their value at all. And not only that, people aren't really buying them. So people are listing them at a lower price just to sell their stock. And if you go on eBay, for example today, just on the first few pages, people are selling 50, 60, 100, many batches of these. And they're going for like £20, £15, and people aren't even bidding. So that shows you, obviously, I mean, if you scale that down, what's that, 25p per figure, if less? And that's with the accessories, like, for example, the gumball holder or the popcorn storage tub. So, very shocked by that. The Moshi Monsters, obviously, on the wane as well. Next, we've got My Little Pony. These are the equestrians and the chunkier figures, but the blind bag waves, similar to Lego, come out seemingly every 3 months. This is wave 12, I believe, for the QT Mark Magic series. And you get a little trading card, you get a little bag. And the good thing about My Little Pony is the bags have a see-through little window on the bag. So if you shake it around, you can actually see what figure you want. I don't believe there is a rarity scale, for example, not a pun on the pony. There isn't, for example, exclusive ones or anything like that. They're just what there is in the series. Shake them around, get what you get, and like I said, look through the window, finish off the set you need. Very, very easy and simple to do. And these are £2 per bag as well. And shockingly, they keep their value very, very well. Like I said, they've got a Pinkie Pie plain, Rainbow Dash plain, Princess Twilight Sparkle, a like a Cutie Mark version of Pinkie Pie in a rainbow garb, and a Lemon Hearts. And I've got the figures here. And we've got, for example, Rainbow Dash. She's going from £2 to £3, so she's kept her value. Lemon Hearts, the same, £2 to £3. To be fair, these are good chunky figures. If you look at the size, obviously it's, you could say the value of 2 Moshis in plastic or moulds put together, but these are far more collectible, and around the world, a lot of places in Australia particularly are selling these, and even with dispatch and charges of say £2-3 international postage, people are happily paying £4 or £5 each for these things. So there is a market there. The plainer Pinkie Pie I think was a £3 as well. And these slightly more jazzy looking ones, even though they're no more rare than these, and like I say, you can look through the bags to see who you want. This one, the cheapest I could find it for the Twilight Sparkle Princess was £4.50, and for the Cutie Mark Magic Pinkie Pie, the cheapest was £3. So all of them have increased in value, even the more common ones. All of them have kept their value, and they've all increased a little bit. If you're lucky enough to get the slightly more chunkier ones, they will double in value. So, and these are at least a year out of circulation, so they very, very good. If you can get those, if you can get a set, they're not going to drop in value. Of what I've seen anyway, they haven't yet. The next one's a tricky one. The top 2 places, it's kind of a draw. You've got Shopkins, and you've also got Lego, and I don't really know how to identify between the two here, so I'm going to do a draw. In tied first place, you've got Shopkins and you've got Lego. And I've got one good reason why I'm going to call this a draw. I've got Series 12 Lego minifigures, and for the Shopkins, these are Season 2. Now, Lego doesn't really have a scale of rarity, however there's always a figure that captures people's imagination. It might be the hot dog guy, it might be the guy in the gorilla suit. It's usually something that's just a bit kooky and stands out, and people just want to have it. I remember a Medusa figure a few years ago. There's a Bumblebee girl. People just want them, they get them, and then they go out of circulation. People don't sell them, especially the highly artistically stylized ones. This is Spooky Girl, and when I got this figure, I was very, very, very excited because it just looks really, really neat. They've just made it really well. It just does everything you want. You've got the black and white style, the white face, teddy bear accessory. It's just very nice. And obviously it's going to be very popular to lots of different people for different reasons. It's got the cute factor. It's Lego, obviously there's the horror side to it. Horror's very in vogue at the moment, so it ticks a lot of boxes. Cheapest one for this, between £7 and £9. These were all £2.50 each, so that's trebled in value straight off the bat. On the other scale, the slightly less loved figures like Prospector and Swashbuckler here, you can get those between, if you're lucky, maybe £1.50, on a lesser day of availability, maybe £3. So they kind of stick around their price of £2.50, but usually a bit under. So they're kind of as is, they don't really add any value. And then you've got like the middling figures that make up the series. We've got Dino Tracker Lady and the Wizard, and they're on offer usually between £3 and £3.50. So they've gained £1 in value, but they're never going to lose that, and especially with all the accessories. Obviously, people will lose these, and there's little bits there that are going to fall off. So if you keep them in good condition, they're going to hold their value very, very well. So overall, if you had a set of 5 there, you've made money. You may have paid £12.50, but if you was to resell that group of 5, you're going to make probably nearer £20. You can't really argue with that. Shopkins, on the other side, they actually have a sliding scale similar to the Zelfs, where you have, for example, you could have, there's a baby range in the Season 2 where they're flocked. So you've got like a little felt effect feel. And this is Nappy D, I believe, and this is one of the, I want to say ultra rares, and the cheapest one I could find for this was £5. There wasn't many for sale, but the cheapest one I could find was £5, and that's taking aside delivery charges. So obviously, if these were £2.50 for two, you've doubled your money and you've still got one spare. Admittedly, there's not going to be many in circulation, but similar to the Lego, for every spooky girl, there's a Nappy D, and for every prospector, there's a French stick. Now, the French stick, I believe it's got a silly name, something like Slick Breadstick, something naff like that. These aren't very common, not really wanted. Similar to the Moshi food people, there's lots of these around. Maybe £1, something like that. You're not going to get your close to half of the £2.50. It's going to be £1 at best. Then you've got the other rares, not as rare as Nappy D, but this one was Mary Meringue. And there's some different coloured versions, so it gets a bit tricky. There's a translucent one, this is the pink one. The cheapest I could find this was around £7 to £8. And I don't believe it's actually worth that much money, but I think purely because it's demand. If people need it and there's not many for sale, you can put what you want for it. So on another day there might be a few more available, so may go down to a more Nappy D mark of about £4. But at the moment, on eBay and Amazon, about £7, £8 for this. So if you've got one, maybe now's the time to sell if you've got a few doubles. If not, it's a very good figure to have. But yet again, for a £2.50 pack, if you've got two of these, on average, if you get a 5-pack, in the hidden figure is usually always around. It's always usually a translucent or a shiny one. This is Lana Lamp Pink, and yet again, same price as Nappy D, around £4 to £5. So yet again, doubled your money, you've got a figure spare from your set. And last of all, there's a little example. This is not as common as Slick Breadstick, this is like an intermediate. And this is Pecana Pie, and she's worth about £2 to £3. So yet again, that one on its own, worth more than the £2.50. The reason why the Shopkins and Lego obviously resell so well, there's a massive audience of people collecting these, and when a series ends, obviously it's discontinued, and when the stock's been sold up or used up, obviously you're waiting on other people to sell off what they've got in their collection. So if you've got Lego in particular, I mean, Lego's been going for a very, very long time. It's not going to lose its popularity. Shopkins, in a couple of years, might do. I'm not sure. But at the moment, if you've got Shopkins figures and you're not really into them, now's the time to sell. Or, alternatively, if you're a collector, you might be best waiting a year or two for the decline, like we've seen with the Moshi Monsters. I hope that's helped somebody. Until next time, bye!